Vibrant back for another episode of the Vibrant Truth. So, before we start this video, got a couple of tweets about this subject. So, decided to do this subject based on request, not based on anything personal or anything like that, just based on request. So, with that being said, you see the title Friends and Expectations. That's what it's all about today. So, see, I changed the color of the banner. We back, baby. We back. Tattoo Parlor, Discord. We back up and running, baby. But, anyways, let's get into it. So, I touched on a few facts and points in previous videos about friendships and what it means to different people. Everyone has a different view or opinion or standpoint when it comes to the word friends. Me, everyone knows where I stand when it comes to the word friend. If I call you my friend, then I'm solid. You don't have to worry about me speaking your business. You don't have to worry about me talking behind your back. You don't have to worry about me, doing the fuck shit. Now, obviously, there's exceptions to every rule or whatever. When friends have blow ups or whatever, if you're in a relationship or you have a partner, of course you're gonna vent to your partner or anything like that, but that stays between you and your partner. I feel like some people say, hey, well, we're going through something, we're going through this, we're going through that. Why are you telling your boyfriend? Why are you telling your girlfriend? Why are you telling your husband? Why are you telling your wife? I don't really think that it should be expected for you not to vent to your partner about shit. That's just my opinion. I don't really understand why people would think that a person's partner wouldn't know at least some of what's going on in a situation between friends. Um, um, I'm looking for a word other than friends, but I can't get it out right now. Acquaintances. That's the word I was looking for. Between friends, between acquaintances, it's pretty much the same thing. Your partner is who you talk to for the most part. So when you become friends with somebody, what does it mean? What does it mean to everyone when you become friends? At the Jack Hayes, what's up, buddy? What 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 does it really mean when you call someone your friend? Does it mean, okay, well, when I'm in trouble, I can contact this person and they'll help me because they're friends. We're friends. He's my friend, she's my friend. Does it mean when I need to talk, when I need to vent, when I need, just someone to listen and not really judge me, I can go to that person because we're friends? Or does it mean live your life and just check in every 6, 7 months? Hey, how you doing? Great. That's fine. Gotta go. To me, I understand life gets busy and people are always moving, but to me, a friend is something that I take seriously. So if I call you my friend, I'm gonna check up on you from time to time. Yeah, life gets busy. Even if it's just a quick text, hey, just checking in on you, seeing how you're doing. Haven't heard from you in a while. You don't necessarily have to need something from someone to contact them. Now, I have this friend, you know, we don't talk that much, but every time they need something, They hit me up. Do I respond? No, I don't. Because honestly, I feel like that's really fucked up. Like, if I'm your friend, whatever happened to, hey, I haven't spoken to you in a while. I just want to see how you're doing. I just want to see what's going on with you. I just want to see, you know, how life is for you. I don't get that. So, like I said before, a lot of people throw the word friend around very loosely. A lot of people use the word friendship very inconsistently. And it creates trouble. It creates drama because you call someone your friend, and then as soon as something happened, you turn to them for, you know, someone to talk to, someone to have your back, someone you can just feel safe with for a little while. And then they're looking at you or whatever, and they're saying shit. That's what you get when you go to that person. They're looking at you like they don't have any sense in the world of what you're talking about, no sense of reality. So, my thing is it wrong for you to cut someone off that you call a friend to you and you don't feel like they're being a friend? No, it's not. I feel like a friendship is a two-way street. If you're putting your energy into someone and they're not bringing the same energy to the table, why are you going to kill yourself bringing that energy to a friendship that's not even reciprocated? Before we continue on, I am just going to paste this invite link into the chat. So for anyone who wants to chime in and actually speak on this subject, click that link. We could talk about it. But yeah, getting back to situation at hand. Give me 1 second, just trying to figure something out here. There we go. And I'm going to just mute this. So, oh no, you just made me realize I'm a shitty friend to some people as well. Well, damn. I mean, I'm not saying it to signal anyone out, Jack Hayes. I'm just saying this is basically based on a situation that happened recently with me, and because I got a few tweets on Twitter to speak on this subject. But yeah, so they hit me up, they text me just today actually, asking me if I knew anyone that can help them financially. But you haven't hit me up, text me, messaged me on Facebook in forever. But then when you're in a situation, it's, do you know anyone that could send me money? How does that work? Like, how is it that I'm not a thought in your mind until you're in trouble, and then, hey, do you know anyone that could send me some money? How do you respond to that? Me personally, I don't. I just don't. But the fact of the matter is simply this: some people call me an asshole. Some people call me a dickhead for being like that. But I've been nice my whole life to any and everyone that entered my life, even if they treated me like shit. Even to this day, if I'm cool with you, but I'm not fucking with you, if you need a certain type of help, I'm gonna help you because that's just the type of person that I am. I never claimed to be a great person. I never claimed to be a good person. But what I am is a person that has empathy and compassion. I may look like an asshole. I may talk like an asshole. I may act like an asshole. But at the end of the day, I understand that everyone falls on hard times at times. Everyone needs some type of support, whether it be financial, mental, or emotional. I get that. I get life gets busy. I get people drift apart. I get that. That's not a problem. My pet peeve is when you drift apart and then out of nowhere, your first point of contact is, can you help me with this? Do you know anyone that can help me with that? Can you send me this? Can you send me that? Can I come stay with you for this amount of time? Can you buy me this? Can you buy me that? That's an issue. That's an issue for me because now you're hiding behind the word friend instead of being a friend. There's no way you can say, "Oh yeah, that's my friend. That's my best friend. That's this, that's that." But we never talk. We never ever communicate about just what's going on in each other's lives or just about dumb shit like actual friends really do. So, how do you call yourself a friend just because you know somebody? Like, what does a friend really mean to people in this world? Does it mean people that know each other? Does it mean people that met each other and know each other for a couple of weeks? Does it mean people that know each other for a couple of years? Like, what does the word friend mean to anyone nowadays? And it's like, okay, well, I met this person, I know them for 3 weeks, so that's my friend. I met this person at work just yesterday, so that's my friend. And then you find yourself embroiled in this word friend, but then at the same time, you find yourself forced into a friendship because they're using the word friend. That's fine, Jack Hayes. You could join in. The more the merrier. My issue with that is a forced friendship is not a friendship. And the people that's being forced into these friendships are not really comfortable with the situation. They're more so being nice because of people forcing them into the friendship, which is cool. That's fine. If that's if that's who you if that's what you want to do, that's fine. I'm not saying you're wrong for going with the flow. A lot of people don't want to hurt people's feelings, and that's fine. That's who you are. But a lot of times people need truth in order to survive in life. You can't be coddled your whole life. You can't sit here and want people to tell you what you need to hear and what you want to hear over what needs to be said. Now, some people may see me as an asshole for telling people what needs to be said other than what they want to hear or what they need to hear. I have to tell you, if someone that you call a friend is telling you what you want to hear, what you need to hear, over what needs to be heard, then they're not a friend. I expect my friends to call me out on my bullshit. Let me know when I'm wrong. Do I want them to do it publicly? Not necessarily, but if it has to be done, it has to be done. Now, there's a certain way you can go about it. You don't necessarily have to be an asshole about it all the time. But there's some people that only respond to tough love, right? So if people only respond to tough love, then what choice do you have but to give them tough love, right? I mean, from someone looking into the friendship situation, it's gonna be, oh, he's an asshole. He treats them like shit. Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? But you don't know the situation of our friendship, of our relationship. You don't know the basics of how we are with each other. So here's my thing: friendships can implode for any given reason. Okay. Friendships can implode for a lot of different things. Kit Kat.
Yo, what's up? Hang on. Oh no, why is that on the screen? No, don't look at that. That's nothing. That's nothing.
Just go give Kit Kat a few minutes. All right. While Kit Kat figures out what's going on his end, we're going to continue on. Oh, wait. I think he's back. Yeah. Nope. It shouldn't. Look at the look in the book and see what I wrote down for the bank bag. So open the bank bag and count the money. Yeah, open the bank bag and count the money and text me back. All right. Well, when you count it, text me that. Let me know how much is in there. All right. Sorry about that, guys. For some reason, it's not. I heard you the first time. I just couldn't see you. Let me see.
Yeah, I don't have a cam.
Oh yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Oh, okay, okay. I might have to mute myself a couple of times. My kids are going crazy.
That's fine. So, what are your thoughts on this topic of friendship?
If I had to say, like, topic on friendship, I think friends is just someone who makes you a better person in general. It's really not about what you give or you take from a friend. It's just more of they make you a better person. They keep you moving forward, as the army would say. Always move forward. If a friend can't do that, then there's no point. Because at that point, you're expecting something from your friends when you shouldn't be expecting anything. besides support and what you are looking forward to do.
Okay. So let me ask you this: if you have a friend, like let's use my situation I spoke about earlier as an example. If you had a friend that doesn't contact you for anything else other than monetary help, money, a place to stay, someone they can crash on their couch, do you feel it's improper or inconsiderate to just stop responding and communicating after several years of just having this type of interaction with this person?
No, at that point, that's just an acquaintance. That's just someone that's there that needs you at a certain point that they can just lean on when they're having trouble. And if they're not contacting you for years on years, then no, that's just an acquaintance. And in reality, you don't have to help an acquaintance. And you don't have to help your friends out in financial situations. That's that's not your responsibility. Everyone's financial situations are their own, and you have to make the necessary moves and adjustments to get yourself out of it. Honestly,
100%, I agree with that. So let's say you are that friend that puts energy into a person. You help them out financially, places to stay, things like that. And then once they get on their feet, they're like in the wind. You don't know where they are. Their numbers changed, their socials changed. But then out of nowhere, when they're down on their luck again, ironically, they're in your presence again. So I feel like it's based on the person, but me personally, I feel like there's no room to rebuild a bridge from them circumstances. I feel like you're using that person to get on your feet, and then when you're on your feet, it's like fuck that person until you fall down again. Then it's like, okay, well, I can go to this person because they'll be there for me because they know I'm down on my luck. Now my question to you is, who's more wrong in that situation? The person who says, fuck that, I'm not rebuilding this bridge, or the person that keeps trying to go back because they know that person was there in the past?
the person that keeps the try going back is wrong in that situation. And I mean, I think it's like how my dad has explained to me. It's like people like that that just want to bail out and not speak to you after they get on their feet. It's not someone healthy. You have to take out the toxicity from your life, because you have to understand that in order to get better from depression and and other things that are going through your life, that toxicity has to be removed. So if someone's not bettering your life or not there for you when you've been there for them, then there's no point in keeping that friendship. And yeah, some people will be like, well, hey, he needs help. And yeah, well, there's veterans that need help. There's people in the LGBT community that needs help. There's young kids who are suffering from depression at a very young age and taking their own lives, and they need help. But the only person that can really help is yourself. I mean, you can donate as much money as you want to someone, but is that going to stop suicide? Is that going to stop depression? Money cannot solve that. The only person who can solve that is yourself and trained therapists. And you have to be willing to listen to the therapist and be willing to make changes in your life. That's the only way. Money does not solve anything in that circumstance.
100% agreed. So in today's society, I've noticed and I've witnessed that the word friend doesn't hold as much weight as it did back in the day. Back in the day, when someone called you their friend, it was an actual friendship. They was there when you needed them. You was there when they needed you. There was no expectations of returned favors, or I'm doing this because you did this for me. I expect you to do this for me. Now I'm starting to see the word friend be thrown into, okay, well, I did this for you, so when I need you to do this for me. Or, well, I helped you back then, so why can't you help me now? Or, I gave you this when you needed it. Now that I need something, you can't give it back to me. And I just feel like a lot of people use the word friend to hide behind the fact that they need to ask you for something, Like I said in my previous video, I don't know if you caught it, but like I said in my previous video, if I'm your friend, I'm your friend. If you need something and I have it, you got it. I'm never going to sit here and say, hey, remember when I gave you this? I need this. I'm never going to tell anyone what I've done for you. I'm never going to broadcast it. And now I'm starting to see a lot of people doing that nowadays. Hey, you know this person? Yeah, they got that because of me. You know that person? Yeah, they wouldn't be where they are because of me. And a lot of people is seeing this as normal. A lot of people is seeing this as that's how friendships are supposed to work, which is why I tend to stay away from a lot of people and I don't use the word friend lightly. If I say you're my friend, you're my friend. That's it. Like I said in my previous video, friends have altercations, friends have spats. It's not about the altercation, it's about what you do after the altercation. So if I have a spat with you and we're not talking for a little while, eventually I'm going to apologize for my actions that I did wrong. I can't take responsibility for the whole situation because it was both of us in the situation. Now, it's up to you to accept my apology right away or say, hey, I need some more time. That's fine. But if I don't step up and say, hey, man, listen, I'm sorry for what I did or what I said, blah, 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 then how can I, in good conscience, call myself a friend to you if I'm not willing to admit my wrong in a situation and try and fix it? And I feel like a lot of people that's friends have altercations or disagreements, and each one is sitting there waiting for the first person to make a move. If I consider myself a friend to you, I'm not going to sit and wait for you to make the first move. I'm going to be that friend and be like, hey, listen, I don't know if you was planning on apologizing or you even want to continue this friendship, but I'm sorry for what I've done in the situation. Whatever happens next is up to you. I'm not going to be upset if you say, hey, well, you know what? We went through this. I don't think I want to be friends with you anymore because I can't sit here and wonder if we're going to go through it again. That's perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, I know I did the right thing and I apologized because I consider you a friend. And I'm going to do whatever I can to show you that, I'm still going to be there and I'm going to take responsibilities for my wrongdoing. And I don't see that nowadays with people. I see a lot of people just have stupid arguments, stupid spats, and the friendship is just gone. I'm talking about 10, 15-year friendships is gone over something stupid like money or difference of opinion. And I just don't get that. I don't understand how society has gotten like that in this day and age.
I mean, I agree with you on just everything that you said in general and how friendships have turned out in 2020 and 2021. I mean, just recently. But I mean, this has been going on for a while. But going back to what you said, that a lot of people, um, they come out and say, well, I did this for this person. I gave them so and so much money and whatever and whatnot. Realistically, what the person's trying to do is justify to whoever they're talking to, audience or their other friends, is that, hey, I'm a good friend, right? It's like going to work and saying, hey, I'm a hard worker. You shouldn't have to feel like you need to say that, because if you're having to justify yourself in that, then you're most likely not that if you have to say it. Because if you're a good friend, people are going to say that you're a good friend to other people. You wouldn't have to say it yourself. It should just come out from other people. They understand that you're a good friend and they see that. But it's all about justification. People want to be known that they're in the right, and they want to get that feeling from other people. So if they go out and say, I did this for this and so, they expect the other person to be like, oh yeah, you're a real good friend. You're in the right. And that's what I think people want. And going into the money situation, it's a reason why I do not send money to my friends. Even if we're like really close friends for a really long time, I'm still not going to send you money, because there is that key factor that comes in, like, well, I sent you this money and now I'm asking you for money, and I don't think that's how it should be. And so my thing is if you're going through a troubled time and you're going through financial problems, right? I'm not going to give you money because that's not going to solve the financial problem. It may help you out for a period of time, but it's not going to solve it because you're not learning anything. I'm going to say, hey, look at your budget, figure out what you're spending a lot on, and cut back on that. And I guarantee you'll save more money. And advice goes a long way, more than $100 or $200 to just pay off whatever is going on with you. That's my philosophy. If I give you advice, that's going to be a lifelong lesson that you can apply to your life and hopefully get back on track. But if I just give you money, it's only a temporary solution to the problem.
Yep. So here's my thing, right? So going back to what you said about work, there's a situation from my Twitter that this is why I'm doing this, because someone from Twitter asked me to do the situation. So this person met a coworker at work. The coworker started calling them friends after like 2 or 3 days or whatever. Okay, so the person, didn't want to make the person feel bad, so they stuck with the whole friend thing or whatever. After like 4 weeks, I think she said, um, the person started asking her for favors like car rides home, small stupid shit. Um, but then it progressed to, hey, can I crash on your couch for a night? Can I live with you? Can I borrow this? Can I borrow that? So like I'm saying people use the word friend to hide behind the fact that they want to ask you for help, and they feel like, okay, if I say that you're my friend, it's going to be harder for you to say no, because we're saying we're friends. We're saying we're in some type of friendship. And I feel like a lot of people do that. Like you go to a new job nowadays, and like after a week or a month or so, people are calling each other friends because they work together. Like, how does that happen? Like, you're not at work to make friends. Yeah, you have to be civil to each other because you work with them. But how do you call yourself a friend after a couple of weeks of knowing each other at work? Hey, what's going on, butterfly? How do you call yourself a friend because you work with someone? That's like saying, hey, I met someone at a gas station. That's my friend.
I mean, okay, so on that topic, the person that's asking you to do this, right? And this is what my dad has taught me recently, right? Because he's been through a lot, and he gives me advice, and I say, how do you go about with, people at work and they want to call you your friends and stuff like that? People will do stuff like that. You have to have boundaries, right? So when you go to work, it's okay to have friends at work, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what you have to remember is that they are your work friends. When you're there, you want to get along. You want to be able to be a team and crush out whatever objective you have at work. Those are your work friends. At work, you are friends. Outside of work, you don't know each other. All right, we're not personal friends. We're just work friends, and that's the thing that you have to set the boundary with other people, is that they're work friends. And there may be some times that you really get close to someone, and outside of work you start hanging out and enjoying and doing stuff. But that's very rare, and you have to be careful on who you do that with, because friendships can get messy in the workplace, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like for me at GameStop, I used to go to GameStop in North Carolina all the time, um and talk to David. He was the manager there, and we talked and talked, and I consider him a friend, but only at GameStop, because that's all we talked. I never asked him, to come and hang out, and like, I never asked him to really do me any favors, but he's still a friend, it's just a friend that I made at GameStop. That's what he is to me, and he gave me some stuff before I left, and that's a memory I'll hold in a friendship at GameStop that I had. But that's where you have to do the boundaries. It's not like I hung out with him and all that, and all that other stuff. So you have to really look at it that way. Is like, what is friendship, and what does it entitle? And you have to put boundaries on those types of friendships.
Yeah, I agree. But I see a lot of people are meeting people at work, and immediately the second they click with you, it's, oh, we're friends. We're friends. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say I haven't made a personal relationship or two outside of my job, but I don't call everyone that I work with my friend. or whatever. It took a lot for me to call the one or two people from my job a friend. Like, we hung out a time or two or whatever. We got to know each other. For instance, there's this one guy I work with or whatever. This may sound weird, but I'm convinced that he's my sister in a male form. They think alike, they act alike, they have the same fucking birthday. Like, his birthday is my sister's birthday. So it's like, okay, well, I got to know him or whatever, and we became friends. But outside of that, before we got to that point, he was just one of my subordinates, one of my employees. So how I think about it is simply this: when I go to a new job, I don't really talk to nobody. I go there, I do my job, I leave. Now it's up to them to take the first step to say, "Hey, I'm blah blah blah. What's your name?" I give them my name. We talk for a couple of minutes, and that's that. But at the same time, I don't go into a job expecting to make friends. I don't go into a job wanting friends. I go into a job to do my job, earn my paycheck, and go home. If I make a friend along the way, then great. If I don't, that's fine too. But I feel like a lot of people go into work looking for friends. I feel like people go into work looking for people that they can hang out with after work. And I feel like people go to work and they eat lunch together, or they crack a few jokes on the job, or they exchange phone numbers to text from time to time, or they hang out with each other on break, and that classifies each other as friends. I don't really understand what people's standards or bases are for becoming friends nowadays. But for instance, just like me and you, we met through Discord or whatever. We got to know each other. We started talking or whatever. We shared some stories with each other. And I told you flat out, I said, listen, if I call you my friend, I'm there. There's never a time you can't call me or text me where I won't be there to talk to you and listen to you and give you advice. And you said the same thing to me. That's what I consider a friend. I'm not going to meet someone and say, hey, that's my friend. Me and you, we discussed some things. We talked, we met in Discord or whatever. And we figured out, hey, we click. So that's how we became friends. Same thing with Butterfly. Same thing with Ura. I didn't just immediately call them my friends, my family, and everything. We talked. We got to know each other a little bit. We figured out that we mesh well together. That's a friendship. That's a family. That's a relationship. I feel like a lot of people just throw titles on people, and then when it doesn't work, they want to play the blame game. Well, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. Whatever happened to take the time to actually figure out if your personalities actually mesh, or if you can actually hold a serious conversation with the person without losing interest, or without getting upset, or without getting offended. That's what I think a friendship is. If you could talk to someone about anything and not get offended by what they say, or understand what they say and appreciate everything they say, I see that as a friendship. That's what friendship is to me.
Yeah, no. I mean, the workplace and everything, and how people, you know, get into these friendships real quick. Honestly, I think it's just human beings wanting to have someone around and wanting to be noticed. That's just how human beings are. They want friends. They want to be noticed. They want to be heard. That's how everyone is nowadays. And everyone has standards on friendships, and other people are easygoing and they can just consider you a friend right off the back, and other people you got to get to know a little bit more. But really it comes down to the individual. Like, with you, your value or your standard is that now people have to approach you and talk to you if you're going to even interact with them. And again, I keep my friends at work are just my friends at work. It I get along with them there. I crack jokes with them. We talk a little bit here and there, but after that, we go about our own lives. That's it. It's just work friends, and I had to keep my boundaries like that because I worked with a guy when I was working at a fast food restaurant. We were friends, and where it gets touchy is you become friends so fast, and then they go, hey, can you cover a shift for me, and blah 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 blah, because I covered this shift for you and stuff like that. you don't want to get into those types of situations. Those situations suck, and I'm not about that. Like if I want extra money, I'll take your freaking day that you want to take off because you don't want to come into work. But I think, in this situation of trying to figure out what friendship means, there's no one definite answer. I think it's just individually on each person what they consider to be a friendship quality or their values on friendship. And some people are just, you're gonna do one thing wrong and they're just gonna get mad and then they're gonna be like, well, we're no longer friends, because you did so and so, and that's fine. You don't need them if they don't want to see the other side, or they don't want to sit down there and talk with you and have a discussion about what actually happened. Then I say, hey, see ya. There's the door. I don't care, man. It's not gonna impact me really that much because I'm gonna go on with my life. I still have to go on with my life. If you decide that you want me out of your life, that's fine. I just it's hard. It's a hard debate because everyone has different values on everything. It's almost like politics almost. Everyone has their different views on politics and they think they're right. Same thing with friendships. People have their different takes and views on it.
Yep. I wanna touch on what you said about covering shifts. I've noticed that people will go to people that they think they're friends with to ask to cover shifts. How did people equate friendship with covering shifts? Like that's work. I don't get like, okay, you're my friend, so I want to take this day off. Can you take this shift and I'll take a shift of yours at a later date? Like I don't understand how friendships play into work coverage. Like it's like, okay, well, we're cool outside of work. We work together. So if I don't want to work a day, I'm going to ask my friend, and my friend's not going to say no because that's my friend. Like, how does the logic line up between work and personal? Because, like I said, I'm friends with one or two people. They've asked me, hey, can you work that? Nah, bro, I can't. I got things to do. Like, I don't understand how people say, okay, well, that's my friend. I'm gonna ask them to cover my shift, or that's my friend. I'm gonna call out or whatever. And I mean, it's like you make friends at work, you become friends, you hang out, cool, whatever. But then a lot of people can't keep personal and professional separate. So it's like, okay, we're friends, so I'm gonna bring my friendship into work. And then when something happens at work, we're not friends and personal because something happened at work. I'm mad at you professionally, so I'm going to be mad at you personally. I never understood how that worked.
I mean, people are like that. I mean, I've covered shifts for friends, but honestly, do I understand that? Yeah, I do because people don't want to go ask someone else that they don't know because it's awkward. But if they ask you, it's okay because it's comfortable, right? And that's fine and dandy. I'll take people's shifts, and they'll tell me all the time, hey, I'll take a shift of yours later on. Honestly, and this may sound dickish to a lot of people, but I'll take your shift, and I probably won't ask you to take my shift because I'll put in 2 weeks beforehand that I need this day off, and I'll take your money. That's it. I mean, it's more money for me. My friends can do what they want. If they want me to cover their shifts, sure, I'm going to take it. It's more money for me. But, when you're complaining that you have no money and stuff like that, and I'm over here that has money, don't expect me to hand you out money because I believe that if you work for your money and you work for the stuff that you want, then yeah, you can have whatever you want. But if you want to blow off work and go hang out with some girl because you might get a little slap going on, be my guest, dude. I, I mean, I've never understood it myself, but at that point, you have to put your boundaries there too. If you want to say no, guys. Just say no. And then if they get mad at you and they say they don't want to be friends, then guess what? They weren't truly your friends to begin with. If they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna get upset over you not taking a shift, it's okay. Don't worry about him. That's why you got to separate, friendship between professionalism at your work, and it's very hard to do.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's hard to a certain point or whatever. I personally don't think it's too hard based upon I've worked with friends. Hell, I've worked with family. My sister that passed. She was my boss twice. Never had an issue. Never had a problem. Whatever happened at work, stayed at work. Whatever happened at home, stayed at home. I mean, I think it's more based upon, and I don't want to sound like an asshole when I say this, but I think it's more based upon how the kids are being raised now. I don't think the parents, the young parents, like the teenage parents and parents that's in their 20s and just now hitting 30, is teaching their kids, if you become friends with someone at work, that's work. Don't bring work home and don't bring personal to work. That's how I was always raised. My mom used to tell me all the time, whatever happens at work stays at work, especially when I was working with my sister. She told us every day, whatever happens at work stays at work. Don't bring it home. And I feel like a lot of people have forgotten that valuable piece of advice. Work is work and personal is personal. You go around carrying work shit with you all the time. That's not healthy. You go around carrying personal stuff from home or wherever to work, then you have your personal stress on top of your professional stress. Then you leave work and you have your work stress on top of your personal stress, and you're just stressing 100% of the time. How is that logical?
I mean, for a long time I struggled with that. I'd bring personal stuff to work and then I'd bring work, crap home and stuff like that. My thing is that yeah, it should be personal stuff stays home, work stuff stays at work. But if I got, a dude that is struggling with something personal at home, whether it be with his wife or a friend or a girlfriend or whoever it may be, right? My thing is if I see you struggling, and this is just me, I would rather be like, hey man, look, I'm not doing this as a friend, but I need you to go home. I need you to cool off and just relax or go do something. Relax. Take this day off. Don't worry, you're not in trouble. And go back home, evaluate yourself, and then come back in a work professional manner and get your mind cleared. Because my thing is that we're not all perfect. Personal stuff does bleed into work stuff because it's very hard to get out of that mood when you go to work and kind of switch to that work mode sometimes when you're going through stuff. And I'd rather you be focused and give you that time. And it's not because we're friends or anything, it's just because we're human beings and we care, right? We want you to succeed in the work environment. We want you to succeed at life. And if you're not at 100%, then people have to understand that we got to give some people time sometimes, or take them off to the side. Even if you're not going to give them the day off, just take them off to the side, hear them out for a second, listen to that person, and be like, all right, man, look, got yourself out, put yourself back in focus, and let's get to work and don't think about it. I did that in the army all the time, and I mean, you have to do that because I've seen a lot of my dudes, their personal lives bled into their work, and no one talked to them. No one really wanted to hear what they had to say. Everyone was about themselves, and they offed themselves. That's the point you get to. So I mean, you gotta understand, it's not no longer about you know friendship or work professional. It's just about being human, and we all have to realize that we're human. Stuff is going on differently for us, and if we're just nice to each other, not expecting anything in return or being friends, it's just being empathetic about someone and what they're going through. I think it'd be a lot easier on people, and people would be better at work.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I mean, like I said earlier before you joined, I'm compassionate and empathetic to people. I just don't like people using the word friend out of context. Like, I can come to you, and if you're struggling at work, I can come to you and be like, hey, you need someone to talk to or whatever. I know you don't know me that well or whatever, but I'm always here to listen. I may not have the answers for you, but everyone needs to vent. It doesn't take to be a friend to go up to someone and say, hey, do you need to talk? But I feel like a lot of people want to use the word friend to feel comfortable in certain situations that come up. Like I feel like people use the word friend to ask favors. I feel like people use the word friend to approach people. I feel like people use the word friend to try to take advantage of people. And I'm not saying everyone's like that, but I mean, you find people more so like that than you don't. So it's like, just like with me, for instance, it's people that meet me for the first time and they're like, oh, he looks mean. Oh, he looks like an asshole. Or he looks like a dick. That's just me. I don't really meet people and look at them and be like, oh, hey, hi, I'm blah, blah, blah. How are you? How have you been? How do you know this person? That's not me. I have to see how you are as a person before I start conversing with you or having any type of dialogue, because I have enough going on my own. I'm not trying to invite someone else into my life to bring more chaos. If I have chaos going on, then I want to know that the people that's coming into my life is going to be part of the solution and not the problem. I want to know I have at least one or two people that I can go and talk to and say, hey, I don't know what to do in this situation. I need advice. And then I want that person to be able to either give me advice or say, "Hey man, I don't know what type of advice to give you." But at the same time, I don't want that person to say, "Hey, blah 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 came and spoke to me and he's going through this and he's going through that and blah 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 and yada yada yada." And then before you know it, 6, 7 different people know your business that you don't even know. So that's why I'm very selective on who I call friends, who I speak to, and who I speak to on a personal level. I have no problem speaking with people being civil, but who I let people know my business to should tell them how I feel about them and how I think about them. No, I'm not the most emotional person when it comes to expressing my feelings towards others. I'll admit that. That's something I got to work on. But if I can come to you and talk to you about something really deep and personal, that should tell you right there, okay, well, he considers me a friend. He considers me a brother. He considers me a sister, because I don't think anyone would just come and talk to anyone about the shit that he's talking to me about. So I feel like a lot of people use the word friend and they accept it and they're like, oh, great, I have a friend. But then there's no action behind it. There's no
Yeah.
substance behind it. So you're saying, oh, that's my friend. But what do you know about that
I'll
person?
be right back. Hang on.
All right, no problem. So that's just where I'm at with everything. We got to have substance, people, behind the friendship title. It can't be just, oh, that's my friend, and you go along with it. You have to have something to back up that friendship. That's just all I'm saying.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No problem.
Kids are acting out. But nah, again, you know, you have to set your boundaries. You have to let people know, what you consider as a friendship. Because at the end of the day, you only have you. You can only control you. You can't control anyone else.
Hmm.
That's really what it comes down to. I mean, uh, you know, no matter, you see different issues on the news. You see different issues between different groups, different political parties. And the main thing is that what we don't understand is that whatever becomes of the outcome is the outcome. And the only thing that we can control is ourselves and how we live our lives. Just because, let's say, uh, let's just say, for instance, that they finally say that transgenders can enter the bathroom that they prefer, right? Again, there would be many people that are, whatever, and the same thing with friendships, and like you have to set those boundaries, and some people are not going to be happy about them, and others will be like, yeah, I totally understand. Um, and that's just how you have to go, because if you don't set your boundaries in life and you don't tell people, necessarily what you want and what they can't cross, then you're just leaving them kind of in the dark. Because again, we're all human. We all expect different things, and you know, with the whole friendship thing, it's just it is what it is. I have friends, all over the place, but all my friends pretty much know is that if you're financially going through something, I'm probably not just gonna go send you money. I'm gonna tell you what to do. I'm gonna tell you how to do it. It's probably gonna sound dickish in a way, but I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I didn't go around asking people for money. You know what I did? I joined the United States Army to go get money. Right? I joined the military. I gave up my lifestyle of playing games all day and all this other stuff, knowing and having kids. I dropped everything, went to the military, and did the worst 2 months of my life. And I still did it because I knew I had to get somewhere. I wasn't going to ask my family. I wasn't going to ask my friends. I wasn't going to wait for a $15 minimum wage. I said, get off your ass and do something about it. Because if you want things to change in life, you have to get off your ass and work for it. You know why I'm
Hmm.
not a full-time streamer? Because I haven't worked my ass off for it. You know why I'm not uh, a great husband or dad sometimes? Because I haven't worked for it. You know why I'm not, well, I can't figure out who I am? Is because I haven't even worked on me. And that's what people have to understand. If you work on you, and you focus on your goals, life will get better because there is no handouts in life. The government can keep pushing up $15 minimum wages and give you money all day, but you'll never live a happy life sitting there doing nothing.
Hmm. 100% agreed. So, jumping off of what you just said, I see a lot of people that have minimum wage jobs, but they're not bankrolling it, if that's the right word. I don't know the word right now, but I'm going to explain what I mean. So, even if you have a minimum wage job, right? I see these kids, not even kids, grown men, 22, 23, 24. I see them going buying sneakers and pants and new vape pens and all this other shit, and I'm like, so how much you have in the bank? Huh? I don't have a bank account. What do you mean you don't have a bank account? Like, how old are you? 23? You don't have a bank account? Nah, I still live with my parents. Like, I just have this job for clothes money. They still support me. Why? What's going on with wanting to do the work to get somewhere? Like, it seems like a lot of people is just waiting for their parents or their grandparents or whoever supporting them to become disabled so they can inherit everything they have, so they can say, "Oh, well, I don't need to put in the work because I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that." And I feel like a lot of people make the mistakes of telling their kids, "Hey, when I die or when I become incapacitated, you're going to get this, you're going to get that, you're going to have this." And they automatically say, "Oh, wait, I don't need to put in the work. I don't need to work on myself because when they go, I'm going to have all of this." And then that's the mentality. So when they get a job, they're like, "I don't give a fuck about this job because when my parents die, I'm gonna be rich anyway, or I'm gonna have this anyway, I'm gonna have that anyway. So I don't fucking care about this job. I'll just wait until they die." And that's just the employment pool now. I fired 3 people in a week because that's the employment pool right now. I fired one person. That's my friend's son. He didn't even start. I hired him and fired him 2 days later because he refused to show up to work. So I
That's
mean,
fine.
this is this is just what the kids are into now, I guess. Like, no one wants to work, and I feel like no matter how much you pay, it's just because they know they're going to inherit shit, or they know things are coming in later years. They don't want to do the work now and save for the future. Matter of fact, let me change this title because we about to talk about some shit. Hold on one second.
I mean, I get your point on that, but realistically for me, I just don't care about it. I mean, if the parents want to say, yeah, we'll support you, we'll do this, blah 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 blah, right? It doesn't affect me because I mean, I just get more work hours if you don't want to work. I'll take your money. I'll do whatever, right? And if they think that they're going to inherit their parents' money and be set for the rest of their lives, think about the lottery. People gamble on that all the time. People win millions, and then within a year they spend it all. This is exactly what they're doing. They're waiting on the lottery, and once they get it, they're going to go blow it, and then they're going to realize, oh my god, I had no more money. And then you'd be like, yeah, 'cause you don't know how to work. You don't know how to save. You think that this money is just going to be endless when in reality it's not. It's just like the lottery. These kids are waiting on the lottery. Their parents are the lottery tickets. They're waiting for them to die so they can inherit whatever they have. And they're just going to fuck it up because they don't know how to be adults. They still in the kid phase.
Well, I feel like as much fault as it is of the child, it's of the parents too. Because I feel like there's no way in hell I'm gonna tell my son, hey, you don't have to put in the work because I'm working this hard to save this and that for you. So you don't have to put it. No, there's no way I'm gonna tell him that. What I am gonna tell him is, hey, I busted my ass so you can have something to fall back on in hard times in case you reach hard times, but you need to put in the work to work for yourself. You need to know that you can survive on your own if something happens to me or if something happens to your mother. Just because you have this in reserve don't mean you can sit on your ass all day or not have a worry in the world. You need to think about what you're going to do to survive just in case something happens to me or your mother. I want him, when he gets into the working world, I want him to work like he has no parents. I want him to work like he needs to survive by working. So that way, God forbid, if something does happen to us, he's not sitting there saying, shit, well, what's my first step now? Like, I have this inheritance, but what am I going to do for reoccurring money? He's already going to know, okay, I can do this. I can put this in motion. I can do that. I can do this. I've been doing this my whole life. This isn't new to me. I feel like a lot of people don't instill in their kids nowadays the ethic of hard work. Like you and I got instilled the ethic of hard work when we was growing up, or we got advice. Listen, nothing is free. You can't just sit there and wait for shit to fall in your lap. I got told that a lot by my mom. Now, like I said, I'm an open book. I wasn't raised by my dad. I didn't have a dad. So the man I am now is based off of life lessons. Is based off of things I've seen. Is based off of other people's mistakes. I didn't have a male role model. So I had to learn how to be a man on my own. Yeah, my mom played a great part in it with the empathy and the compassion and the kindness of it. But as far as providing and working and grinding like I do, I had to learn that on my own. So the shit I went through growing up, I never want my son to go through. And a lot of people say, "Oh, well, you're a dickhead for that," or whatever. Like your son should know how to fend for himself. Yes, he should. But the shit that I had to do, I would never want my son to do. And I feel like a lot of people say, "Hey, well, let kids be kids. When they get older, then they'll figure it out." This is why we have the gangbangers, the drug dealers, the robbers, the people who don't know how to do anything in life but rob, steal, and kill because they wasn't taught any values. Now, I'm not saying it's all the parents' fault because when you get a certain age, you should be able to know, okay, well, I wasn't taught this, I wasn't taught that. How am I going to survive when I move out from under my parents' roof? How am I going to get this? How am I going to get that? How am I going to live from day to day? That should be a thought in your mind when you get a certain age. That's been a thought in my mind since I was 14. And my mom wanted none of us to leave. But that was a thought in my mind since I was 14. How was I going to navigate my life as an adult?
Yeah. I mean, again, there's no right way to parent. I mean, all of us have our different, opinions. Some parents are going to be like, yeah, I'll take care of my kid all the way and they can come back home at any point and, I'll provide for them. Everyone has a different way of parenting, and that's okay because in the end, the world has a way of weeding out the weak, weeding out the people that just don't want to put in the hard work or anything. Because, like I told my wife, and we've discussed, is that UBI and upping the minimum wage that does no good. People don't realize it now, but upping to $15 minimum wage for jobs is only gonna up the price of food, the price of apartments, the price of everything that you're looking at right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're upping the minimum wage, and that's not right. But they're like, well, at our current standard, we can't live either. And I was like, yeah, you ain't gonna be able to live on $15 minimum wage either, because they're just gonna up everything. I said, you know how you get to a livable standard is that you go to a job and you move up in that job, or you look for better jobs after you get experience in that one job. I said
Mm-hmm.
that's how it works. Upping the minimum wage ain't gonna do crap for you. And it's not. Eventually, UBI is going to be introduced, and everyone's going to get monthly payments sent to them, and that's okay. I'm going to still work while getting that. You can pay me $1,200 a month, and I'll be like, all right, thanks, free money. I'm still going to work. I'm not going to be on my ass, but you know, that's the generation that we're heading towards. And and stuff like that. And I mean, that's just what people want. And for me, people get angry at it, right? People get upset about how people parent their kids or how the world's, going this way or that way. Who cares? Just do you. Do what you have been taught. If you are taught to have a high work ethic and work at it, then you do you because in life, the only thing you got is you. You have to live life. You have to survive. Don't worry about all those other people because, like I said, I'm not worried about those people not wanting to work because you're just up in the trucking industry for me. There's trucking industries out there paying $14,000 a week just to drive trucks because no one wants to. And
Mm-hmm.
guess what I said? I'm gonna go drive truck
Mm-hmm.
because it's a lot of money. You want to do the job? I'll do the job. That's fine. I love it. I love that people are not working because they're paying me more. They pay
Yep.
me more to work. I'm like, all right, don't work. Screw it. So yeah,
I feel like I agree with what you said, but I feel like jobs are upping pay because people don't want to work, and I feel like eventually people are going to start coming to work once they stop giving the unemployment that they're giving, once they stop the monthly payments, once everything goes back to normal. And I feel like what these jobs are doing is they're going to say, okay, well, the workforce is coming back, so what you was getting paid, we're going to cut, which I don't think it's right. But I think that's what's going to happen because they're trying to bring in all these perks and these incentives to get people to work. And then once people start coming back to work, I feel like they're going to start taking things away slowly because the workforce is going to start getting bigger and they're going to start running out of money quicker. And they're going to be like, wait a minute, we got to start making cutbacks because, you know, we went from having 10 truck drivers to 34 truck drivers and we're paying them all $14,000. This can't happen. Something has to give. So I feel like it should be mandated by government, the legislature, whoever is in charge of wages and everything, that once you get what you get, no matter what happens, it cannot be decreased. Now, for new people coming in, you can give them less. But for the people that decided to work when others wasn't, it should be mandated that they keep their salary no matter what. Because I feel like certain jobs are going to start bringing down the pay once the workforce comes back. And along with the pay, I think they're going to try to start and cut the perks as well, which that's just a feeling for other jobs. Fact for my job, because I'm in management, so I hear the conference calls, I hear the meetings, I hear what upper management says, so I know that's what my job is planning on doing. I can't speak for other jobs, but I just hope that that's not a worldwide thing that they're going to do to people, because that's just going to make us regress after we just bounce back fully.
Yeah, but I mean, even if that is the case, that that's what's going to happen, looking at a $14,000 a week thing, I don't plan on that being my standard rate forever, right? I look at it as, hey, that's good money right there. I'm gonna go towards that way. But what I'm gonna be thinking is not that, oh, I'm gonna get $14,000 a week, no much, it's never gonna go down. No, it's gonna go down. It's a ridiculous price. They're only doing that because they don't have enough truck drivers, to mandate or to take care of the United States. But my thinking in that process is, if I'm getting paid more, guess what? I put that money into a 401k, or I put that money into savings. Whatever they're paying me at that point, I know at some point it may go away, because that's a ridiculous amount, right? You gotta look at it that way. Go work that job, get that money, put it in the savings or something that you can accumulate with, and then when it goes back down, you have nothing to worry about. And if it goes down too far, you take your experience from there and you go somewhere else that someone's gonna pay you more. You have to think, you have to take everything and you have to think about what is your plan, because if you're looking at a job that's paying you freaking $14,000 a week, and you're telling me you're gonna sit there and think that that's going to be forever, you are not living in reality at all. You have to have a game plan. So yeah, if you think that your job is going to do that, right, and you're getting paid more right now, put that stuff in the 401k, put that stuff in the savings, because in the end it's going to accumulate and then you're going to be better off. You were getting paid more, now you may have went down because more people come back to the workforce, but that's okay. You've got experience, and if you feel like you're getting underpaid, then go find another job that will pay you more money than what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Because they'll lose people too. I mean, they may think, oh, we're paying too much people, and yeah, companies are going to cut back because they are they're losing out on money. But I mean, again, they're going to lose people by lowering the rates too.
That's true. 100% true. So, I'm not really big on politics. I don't really talk politics, but I do want to get your opinion on this.
Oh God. Okay.
What are your thoughts on the vaccine?
The vaccine. So the vaccine. I mean, I was vaccinated when I was born, right? I had been vaccinated, growing up. Recently, I haven't gotten vaccinated because every time I get vaccinated, I get really sick and all this other stuff, and I just don't see what. I get it. Maybe you don't get as sick from the actual flu, but you still get sick from getting the vaccine. And honestly, as human beings, we fight through stuff. If you're treating yourself right, eating healthy and all that, and keeping yourself, as healthy as possible, your body creates the stuff that it needs to fight off stuff. But I feel like mandating vaccines and saying you can't travel or you can't go into this certain store, that's just being a freaking communist country. I'm sorry. You cannot force that. America is built on freedom. We have certain freedoms and certain things, and if I don't want something in my body, well then guess what? I don't want it in my body. I'll wear a mask for you all day. If I don't get the vaccine, I don't care. But I just think that the vaccine, the way that it's going right now is that, you know, uh, I think, with the flu, it was a scary thing, and a lot of people died from that. But we never, I don't think, if I remember correctly, we never shut down for the flu, right? Yeah,
No.
we never shut down for the flu. So when this pandemic came and we were all scared, even with Ebola and stuff like that, we didn't even shut down. I think it was just a scare tactic. And honestly, my wife is taught me a lot that I didn't know because I was just in video game la la land, so I didn't know about half of the stuff going on. But I think it's a scare tactic to see how many of the American people will submit to changes and not question it. I do believe that. My dad doesn't believe it, but I believe it. I feel like the government's just trying to see if we'll take swabs up the ass. And I'm pretty sure we would. Most people would.
Hmm.
So no, I don't agree with the vaccine currently so far, and that's just based on my experience because I've never met anyone with COVID. I've never seen anyone with COVID, and I just never had a fear for it. So I'm just like, to me, I don't think it truly existed. I think it's just the flu, and they just rebranded it, like my wife said.
Well, I agree. I actually had COVID. That shit fucking sucks. But
Yeah. Oh, I bet it does.
I do believe that it is just a super flu,
Mm,
and I believe that the people that's died from it was all older people that had weaker immune systems or
yeah.
underlying issues,
Mhm.
or it was just something totally different that they couldn't figure out, so they blamed it on COVID.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what I would say is, I believe my sister died of COVID before we knew about COVID because
Yeah.
everything that they were saying was a symptom of COVID is what she complained about before she passed.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go out and say that that's what she had, but they said it was her cancer that came back and her liver enlarged 3 sizes bigger, and it was suffocating her lungs and everything. That's why she passed. I don't believe it because I spoke to my sister 2 days before she passed, and everything that they said on the news in the beginning stages of COVID, she had the body pain, the shortness of breath. She couldn't move. At one point, she couldn't even talk. So I believe that she had COVID, and they just didn't know about it.
Yeah.
People out
I
here
mean,
trying to get
I
right.
don't, I feel bad for the people that lost their lives during COVID, don't get me wrong. I don't, I'm not saying, oh, you know, they, they died from something else. I mean, people die from a lot of things. People die from smoking, people die from car crashes. It's a very, sad thing to when someone dies. And I totally understand that. I just think that, we as people we're just so scared because the news media made it kind of that way. And then, we're injecting people with experimental vaccines that we haven't even really fully tested, from my understanding. And so there's a lot that I don't know about the COVID because I didn't really follow it because I was just like, if I get it, I get it, and if I die, I die. That was my basic concept, like I'm not gonna live in this bubble and stay inside my house forever just because there's, something going on. But that's just me. And I'm sorry that you lost your sister. I mean, that's something that no one needs to deal with. If I would have lost my sister to it, I would have been sad as well. And I feel sad for all those people that lost people, especially the older people. And, it was just, it's a heartbreaking thing. But again, you know, we can't be afraid forever. We have to, as the Army has always taught me, is keep moving on. I would to pause. Wait, shit sucks, but I agree with everything y'all are saying. Wait, what just happened? I'm the only one in here. Uh, am I in charge of the show now? Because I don't know what to do. I'm scared. I don't know. Maybe he had something important. Something. I'll get him tomorrow. Talk about life. They're telling me to talk about life. Yeah. Butterfly. I don't know. I don't know where pause. I don't know where Vibrant Truth went. I think something happened. I don't know. You know, again. Hope I didn't say anything wrong. Crap. You know how I am. I can be too truthful sometimes, or not know, or say something wrong. I don't know. I got a weird way about speaking. Hey, don't hang on. No, get off of that. Do not hang on the desk. Crazy kids. Got stuff on there. But, yeah, life's good. What you said, life just fucking sucks. There's a saying in the army, embrace the suck. Just embrace the suck. So, yeah, Vibrant Truth, you okay? What happened? What's going on? If I did something wrong, just hit me. Just has I agree. I don't know what just happened. I'm confused. But, yeah. I mean, I'll keep going. He hasn't ended the stream technically, so I'm going to assume it's technical issues maybe or something, or I don't know. Where the heck were you supposed to move to? Yeah, guys. I don't know what technically is going on. I'm actually about to see if I can't catch him in Discord real quick. Hang on. You got dye everywhere. God damn it. You got dye everywhere. It's too far. I mean, unless the work was gonna pay for your expenses and like, you know, fly you there or something or help you move, then I don't know. Hey, I'm not worried about that. I said something wrong. You know my ass. I say things and I don't even think about it, and then I'm like, fuck. Oh, custody agreement. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no, you know, but if I'm more, you know, that I may have said something. We have to stay in this state. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know what the custody agreement is, but if you have custody, then yeah. I mean, it's the one who doesn't have custody. If he didn't have custody of his kid, then he can move anywhere, and then they would. Well, I mean, there's a lot to it. I don't know, cause like I can move, but if I were to say, hey, I want to have my daughter for the summer, then you know, she would have to make that happen. She would have to be able to get her to me like I asked, and then I'd have to get her back. There's a lot of complications with that, so I don't know the full thing, but you know, you have to read up on all that, what you can and what you cannot do. You know, I mean, you could move, but you would have to be able to send him, you know, back there, whatever the agreement is, every time. And if you don't have that type of money, yeah, that can be kind of hard. So, yeah, I just tried messaging him in Discord, and I don't know yet. I don't know. I mean, his stream's still live, so I'm assuming that. I mean, because if something happened, I'm pretty sure he would have ended his stream. Because I'm still on the stream. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see if I can fix my. No, no. Okay, whatever. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe at some point, I don't know. So, but yeah, that's good. Been playing Pokemon Unite a lot.
And then, you know, I don't know. I'm just more worried I said something. You know how my dumb ass is. Me trying to get my point across is like me trying to form a sentence sometimes. I know that for a fact. I know that for a flying fact. Hey. No, seriously. Me trying to form a sentence is like trying to form Japanese sometimes. Correctly. Can't even do that correctly. Gosh dang it, why'd you put me in an awkward position, man? It's awkward for me. I don't wanna. Let's see here. Hey, it's not answering. I don't know what's going on. I feel like if I were to leave this, then maybe it would end his stream. But I don't know. Well, no, because he'd be streaming off of OBS, right? Or is he streaming off of a different platform? Oh, I think he's streaming off of a different platform. So if I were to leave, this should end his stream. I think I'm gonna do that until he gets back on or something. Cause I think he's streaming off of, yeah, StreamYard. And I think the reason why it's still alive is because I'm still in here technically. Maybe. I'm gonna try that.